Born in VR, reborn for everyone. EVE Valkyrie Warzone is an overhauled and 2D-friendly update to the first-person space shooter that's been blowing Rift, Vive and PSVR-connected minds the world over. With a new generation of ships spooling in their launch tubes for imminent release, we set aside our beloved headset and, squinting and disorientated as though seeing the real world for the first time, immediately powered up a handsome high-def TV to show you what you can expect from your first hour in Warzone. Even if you're not switching from gamepad to mouse or vice versa, controls have changed ever so slightly from the VR experience, so we recommend re-attending flight school just to brush up. After successfully completing modules in flight school, you're rewarded with a capsule full of loot which you can crack open in your vault to unlock paint jobs, decals, XP boosting implants and currency. When you've completed basic training, you can choose to complete more advanced training or jump straight into Proving Grounds, where you'll fly and fight against other brand new Valkyrie pilots and bots until you reach rank 5 and graduate into standard matchmaking. In Warzone, the entire glorious roster of 13 ships is available right from the start, and with a loadout summary available at the press of a button, you may find yourself spending several minutes deciding which ship to take out for a spin first. You can switch every time you die, but you don't go into battle planning to do much of that. We'll talk much more about ships in later videos, but just to whet your appetite, here's a brief intro to our freshly tweaked craft. First, the 3 existing classes have been adjusted and a 4th has been added, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out more about that. Second, even within classes, the ships are built for radically different purposes. You're not just picking based on slight variances in shield, capacitor or maneuverability, you're picking based on the role you need to play within your team at any given moment. In your first hour, you'll start building a list of ships that you absolutely adore. Your friends will too, but their lists will be completely different. These birds have character. Aside from the old and new maps being just as spectacular as ever, we think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how effortlessly the gameplay translates onto flat screen. For our VR players, you'll discover that situational awareness doesn't suffer as you'd expect. We expect that after a few minutes, you'll have stopped noticing and be more concerned about taking down enemy craft while dodging missiles and fire from the rest of their team. For those unacquainted with the EVE universe, future tech means warfare has been sanitized to the point where all your ship-to-ship victories can be enjoyed guilt-free. The rival pilots you'll be so enthusiastically downing are merely clones, and there's a plentiful supply of fresh copies held in reserve in the clone vat, ready and waiting to receive implanted memories from their slain predecessors. Don't let that dampen your bloodlust though, because those memories will of course include the final few seconds of vacuum and bullet-based agony that you mercilessly inflicted in the name of corporate dominance. As you rank up and complete daily challenges in Warzone, you will accumulate a number of reward capsules, and cracking them open reveals XP boosting implants, ship-specific paint jobs and decals, pilot suits and helmets, as well as cold, hard cash. As you battle against the Schism, you'll earn XP on a per-ship basis, which can be used to unlock upgrades. Most of the upgrades, especially the cheap and early ones, are trade-offs with a small net benefit. For example, you can opt for a plus 20% rate of fire at a cost of a 15% reduced damage per shot. As you unlock modules, you'll need to evaluate what kind of Valkyrie pilot you want to be. With 4 styles of upgrades available: attack, defense, mobility and tech, there are paths and configurations for every style of fighter. Finally, whilst in the hangar, you can apply paint jobs and decals to each of your craft. There are many options, but eventually we settle on a blood red livery, which strikes us as both practical and appropriate, given that it'll so often be splattered with the blood of our enemies and probably bits of liver too. With your first hour done and yet so much more still to discover, why not suit up again and head back into the cold vacuum of space via the matchmaking screen? See you in nullsec, pilot, but expect no quarter, for none shall be given.